The EVGA X299 micro motherboard is mid-range micro etch offering aiming to please a wide range of users but isn't marketed towards any one function, in particular. It supports two-way SLI, includes a U.2 port, an M.2 slot, and has Wi-Fi connectivity via an included card. It sits as the second smallest commercial X299 motherboard, behind the X299 EITX. For the X299 platform, as they did with X99, EVGA has the fewest motherboard SKUs compared to the other major board partners, a total of 3. These range from the flagship X299 Dark, the mid-range full-sized X299 FTWK, and the X299 Micro, which we are looking at today. EVGA X299 Micro Overview. For high-end desktop platforms, any movement to reduce the motherboard size usually comes at the expense of features. Sometimes a feature compromise makes sense if a smaller product is aiming for a specific crowd. However, it takes a good motherboard design to make the most of the key features of the platform in such a small size. EVGA, for the X299 Micro, attempts to make the best of both worlds. The board supports a full set of quad-channel memory, although only one module per channel. And rather than doing 2 network ports, changes one for a wireless card. The PSI lane layout is optimized for a dual GPU setup, and EVGA puts the other lanes to use with 2 different PSI storage implementations. EVGA X299 Micro on Amazon. The X299 Micro has 3 full-length PSI slots, supporting up to 2-way graphics. The physical slot configuration allows for a dual-slot GPU to fit in the primary GPU slot, top, and the secondary just below it. Technically, EVGA's manual suggests support for SLI, plus an additional physics graphics card, should single-slot GPUs be in play, with the third slot being a PSI 3.0x4 from the chipset. For storage, between the PSI slots is an M.2 slot, supporting both PSI and SATA modules up to 80mm. In addition to the M.2, the X299 Micro also has a U.2 port below the 6 SATA ports. With all SATA, M.2, and U.2 lanes fed from the chipset, the Micro has information voltage LEDs which note if there is an abnormal voltage detected. There are 2 additional LEDs in the same area that will light up depending on which processor is installed. It also includes power and reset buttons as well as a debug LED for post codes and temperatures once it goes through post. EVGA mentions a 12-phase power delivery and has a heatsink which looks like it can handle the load. USB connectivity on the Micro offers users 2 USB 3.1, 10 Gbps ports, 1 Type-A, and 1 Type-C, managed by the AS Media 2142 controller. Most boards in this class use the newer and more efficient AS Media 3142 controller, but does not include front panel 10 gigabits per second support. The chipset handles 8 USB 3.0 ports, 6 on the back panel, 1 internal header, along with 4 USB 3.0 internal headers. The network side of the house is handled by a single Intel i219V gigabit LAN controller. Wi-Fi capabilities are handled by an add-in card, an Intel 8260 card which is 2T/2R, supports speeds up to 867 megabits per second and includes Bluetooth 4.2. The kicker here is users will have to install the diminutive card themselves, as it does not come pre-installed. Performance on the EVGA X299 Micro was solid overall outside of any tests using AVX instructions, with the motherboard usually around the middle of the pack. One of the better results in our power testing, however, there is an issue here. In this AVX test, both EVGA boards so far have the clock speed dropping to 3.3 GHz, which is the base clock for the i9-7900X. After running this with Intel XTU monitoring in the background, it showed there is current limit throttling causing the CPU to drop to 3.3 GHz. X299 boards from other vendors do not have this issue. In our manual overclocking tests using our first CPU, the system was comfortable at 4.5 GHz, like the others we have tested so far. The current price on the X299 Micro is $290 on Amazon US. MSI has 2 Micro ATX boards in their product stack, the X299M Gaming Pro Carbon AC, $301, and the X299MA Pro, $222. ASRock has a mini ITX board, the X299 EITX/AC, $400, while Gigabyte and Asus do not currently have anything smaller than ATX in their lineups. EVGA's X299 strategy. EVGA's X299 strategy relies on only a couple of boards, 3, to complete their lineup as compared to others with close to